Imagine going through a surgery while being fully awake. The sound of the knife cutting into your flesh, the burning pain, no escape, no relief, just raw, unbearable agony. This was the terrifying reality before anesthesia was discovered. But how did we go from tying patients down and pouring whiskey down their throats to discovering chloroform and revolutionizing modern medicine? Let's unlock this untold story. Before anesthesia, the nightmare of surgery. In the early days of medicine, surgery was pure torture. Patients were fully awake while their bodies were being cut open. Surgeons had no choice but to physically hold people down. Assistants would tie arms and legs while the patient screamed in agony. Amputations of arms and legs were common, not because they were the best treatment, but because they were the fastest. The goal wasn't precision, it was speed. Some famous surgeons were known as butchers with golden hands because they could amputate a leg in under 2 minutes. But no matter how fast, the pain was unimaginable. Many patients simply died from the shock of pain itself before the operation was over. The first attempt: whiskey, opium, and knockouts. Before true anesthesia, doctors experimented with whatever they had. Strong alcohol, like whiskey or brandy, was poured down the patient's throat until they passed out. But drunk patients could still feel pain. They just screamed louder. Others tried opium, hashish, and mandrake roots, ancient drugs that dulled the senses. Sometimes they worked, but often the dosage was unpredictable. Too little, and the patient screamed in pain. Too much, and the patient never woke up. Another crude trick? Knocking the patient unconscious. Surgeons would literally hit someone on the head with a mallet or apply pressure to the carotid arteries to cut off blood flow and make them faint. Dangerous, risky, and sometimes fatal. The experiment with gases, nitrous oxide, laughing gas. In the late 1700s, scientists began experimenting with gases. One of them was nitrous oxide, also known as laughing gas. At first, nitrous oxide wasn't taken seriously in medicine. Instead, it was used as party entertainment. People inhaled it at fairs and laughed uncontrollably. But then, in 1844, a dentist named Horace Wells noticed something strange. During a laughing gas demonstration, a man injured his leg badly, but felt no pain. Wells immediately thought, "What if I use this on my dental patients?" He tried it, and it worked. The first painless tooth extraction had happened. But when Wells tried to present his discovery publicly, the demonstration went wrong. The patient screamed, and Wells was humiliated. Nitrous oxide disappeared from serious medicine for years. Ether, the first true surgical anesthetic. Around the same time, another chemical entered the stage: ether. It was originally used as entertainment too. College students inhaled it for fun, like laughing gas. But in 1846, an American dentist named William T.G. Morton decided to use ether in surgery. At Massachusetts General Hospital, in front of a live audience, he gave ether to a patient before removing a neck tumor. The patient felt nothing. The surgery was a success. For the first time in history, pain-free surgery became real. That day is remembered as the birth of modern anesthesia. Chloroform, the dark darling of Victorian medicine. After ether, another chemical became famous: chloroform. In 1847, Scottish doctor James Young Simpson discovered its power when he and his friends experimented by inhaling different chemicals at home. When they tried chloroform, they all passed out on the floor. But when they woke up, they realized its potential. It could make patients unconscious quickly and effectively. Chloroform became incredibly popular, especially in childbirth. Even Queen Victoria used it during the delivery of her 8th child in 1853, giving it royal approval. But chloroform had a dark side. Unlike ether, it could suddenly stop the heart. Patients sometimes died instantly after inhaling it. Still, for decades, chloroform remained one of the most widely used anesthetics in the world. The birth of modern anesthesiology. As medicine advanced, doctors realized they needed safer and more controlled ways to put patients to sleep. This gave birth to the field of anesthesiology, a specialized branch of medicine dedicated to anesthesia and pain management. New machines were built to control dosage. Safer drugs were developed, combining gases with intravenous medicines. What started with whiskey, opium, and chloroform eventually evolved into modern anesthesia, a science that makes millions of surgeries painless every single day. So, next time you hear about someone going into surgery, remember this. Just 200 years ago, they would have been screaming in agony on the table. From whiskey to chloroform, the journey of anesthesia is one of the strangest and most life-saving revolutions in medical history. If you enjoyed this untold story, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell. Because in our next video, we'll uncover another dark and shocking medical mystery you've probably never heard before.